I think that's a new unit behind him now too that's chasing him.
So CHP.
Yeah, so we're switching because we should be in Rancho Cucamonga's area now. So yeah, that's, I mean, even since we've been over the chase, they've swapped out more times than we have.
Absolutely.
More cars not pulling over again.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, more people just kind of going about their day.
Not even switching lanes,
Yeah.
let alone pulling over.
Yeah, I'm listening to the yeah. Still, you know, no new info on the driver that I can hear. So they have the license plate. They've called it out again as we kind of move back eastbound now. I'm sorry, westbound through the Inland Empire here on the 60 freeway. Back around through the 15 on the 60. So our next option is going to be the 71 south for freeways. Certainly he could get off at a number of exits before then, but.
And it looked like he might have been, I don't know, second thinking this and maybe trying to look for an offshoot, like when he got off the freeway there, because then he got back on kind of in the same direction, right? It wasn't like he turned around.
Yeah, no, yeah, he got back on. What's also interesting, sorry, I'm listening because two frequencies. If this guy somehow ends up back on the 91, LA County is in pursuit of a different vehicle on the 91 right now that are kind of coming towards each other. So we'll see if we have that rare passing of pursuits on the freeways, but that would require our guy to come back on the 91 where he came from. They're over coming into Orange County now on the LA side. So they're chasing something too. It's very chasey tonight.
Busy night.
Yeah. So our guy, anyway, still westbound 60. Again, nothing crazy. I mean, we've not seen these really remarkably high speeds here at all. Brian, you want to give the speedometer a shot again and see if we can get a good reading on that? I don't know why it was giving us such issues earlier, but we'll try it again. There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's under 70, for goodness sakes.
I mean, that's slower than most of us go home at night.
Yeah, well, I'm letting you say that. But you're so right about that. And again, can you tell even from the traffic that you're listening to, Mike, if they are talking about even doing another a spike strip attempt or something like that?
No, I mean, no one has, I mean, they're calling out the location, they're calling out, you know, where he's at and all of that. But I've not heard any new requests to do that. Now, I will say we're going to be in Rancho Cucamonga's area for a decent chunk of time. What happened is when we got into Riverside, we weren't in their area for very long. We weren't in San Bernardino's area for very long. Now that we're going to be in Rancho Cucamonga's area, in theory, for a decent chunk of time, we'll see if they want to, you know, move some things around and try to get something set up to be able to lay some spikes or do something else. I was hoping that when he got off the freeway real quick, that there was going to be an opportunity for a pit, but that didn't happen.
Seems to be a little more traffic on this freeway than what we've seen.
Sorry, say that one more time, Pat.
There seems to be a little more traffic on this freeway than what we've seen earlier.
Yeah, especially when we're going to get closer to LA County, the freeways will get a little bit busier. The 60, and again, we're coming like just south of Ontario Airport right now. The next thing we'll be coming through is going to be Chino after that. And I want to answer some questions really quick. We're getting some texts from people that are just joining us, asking us, you know, what all this is about. Again, we'll talk about the want here. Did I just reiterate it again? It was just DUI or suspected DUI. CHP tells us that they started this on the westbound 91 west of Imperial in Anaheim at 8:39 p.m. tonight. And that is when they tried to pull this over for what they believed to be was a DUI driver. The suspect obviously then took off. And that's where we've been. We've gone through the 91, we've gone through the 605, 405, the 71, and now the 15 and the 60. So we are we're cruising along here with this chase, and they've been swapping out CHP units for several, you know, offices that it's gone through.
But he's still in the same vehicle, obviously, and we're trying to second guess maybe just what his gas situation is here, because he has been driving for quite some time.
Yeah,
distance.
Right. He has been traveling for quite some distance, and that may be the thought here. Just let him run it out and see what he's gonna hopefully tire himself out. I mean, we've not heard anything about him being armed or anything of that nature, so hopefully that's not the case. But you know, everyone, each office has their own sergeant that's going to make their own you know, kind of ideas or decisions here as this chase continues through.
And the beauty of this, as you said, Mike, CHP has different jurisdictions, and they just jump in.
Yep.
And the other ones can, what do they do? Just continue on their own in their territory? Or
Yeah, they'll just turn around and go back to whatever they were doing before, whatever calls are in the stack. It's kind of crazy because especially sometimes with these offices in Southern California, they're large, but there's so many areas where you can just burst through them very, very quickly. And that's kind of what happened with this guy. I mean, he got into the Riverside office and then really quickly ended up briefly in San Bernardino, I believe, and then into Rancho. So he's been kind of pushing through these very quickly, which is sometimes why, yes, it's great because these officers don't get tired. You can swap them out and what have you. But at the same time, that also means you have different people in charge of it every time it goes into a new place. And we have seen it be in one office where one watch commander, sergeant, whoever's in charge, wants to be pretty aggressive. And then as soon as it leaves their area, the new guy's like, well, maybe we don't do that. Maybe we just play this out a little bit. So every time it changes offices, a new person's in charge.
So they don't really coordinate necessarily in terms of communication about what they want to do and what the prospect. They just make their own decision at the time.
Make their own decision at the time. And what's going to be interesting here is, especially since we're barreling towards LA County, and I don't want to say just, but the want is just swerving and potentially DUI. We have seen it where even within the CHP, one office is chasing it and the other office that it's coming into says, no, thanks, don't want it. So then they have to sit and see if the office beyond that will take it. And then you're getting, okay, sounds like the car's wanted at a Huntington Beach. So now they're trying to figure out if they can run that address and maybe see if Allied or somebody in Orange County can go check on that address and see if anybody knows this guy or this person or what their deal is. But back to your question, yeah, I mean, once they switch jurisdictions or offices within the CHP, the sergeant in charge of that office at the time is the one that's going to make the tactical decisions.
I was going to say some of those relieved officers might be heading to the other chase.
Yeah, they're going to go get in position for the one. Let me see where that one is at. Oh, that one got off on surface streets in Lakewood. So the sheriff's department's doing that one right now.
You know, the one is just speed or swerving initially, right?
Right.
But I mean, if this is a DUI, this person is putting a lot of people in danger on all these freeways for such a long period of time and at high rates of speed like that.
Yeah, for an extended period of time. And DUI obviously is a very serious allegation if that's what the case may be. And yeah, I mean, to just pass through, I mean, what? We're on our fourth county now. We've gone through Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties now.
The good thing, though, we have not seen him do such aggressive driving as to, possibly run into another vehicle. That's a good thing. We haven't seen him necessarily go across different lanes of traffic. But, the more of this goes on, it's interesting just, again, how he's still driving at these normal amounts of speed, because sometimes we see where they get so aggravated or agitated that they do speed up and drive very fast. And so if they are inebriated in any kind of way, that would make it more dangerous. But right now, they just seem to be going on this,
last minute of freedom.
Yeah, catch me if you can, or I'll just, turn myself in when I run out of gas or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, it's frustrating because the officers obviously wish they would just pull over, but it's also good that it's not a situation where this person is darting and making really terrible decisions. I want to bring up a question from Text the Desk. I think Mike's going to put it in for us there. This is from Luca. Luca says, why don't they pit at any speeds like Arkansas State Troopers do? Luca asked that question because in many parts of the country, there really isn't any speed cap on what you can be pitted at. And a lot of agencies will do that at any speed. Here in Southern California, every agency is different. Generally speaking, they don't like to go above that 30 to 35 mile an hour range because it puts a lot of people at risk when they do that.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. We are going to conclude CBS LA on KCAL 9 and turn it over to our team at 10 o'clock.
Thank you very much, Pat. This is Juan Fernandez along with Susie Suh, Mike Rogers on the desk, continuing to follow the breaking news story of the original reason police wanted this driver to stop apparently was swerving in traffic. So nothing very serious at the moment when it comes to swerving in traffic, but the driver obviously did not want to stop, Mike, and you're following this. We've been on it for what, at least 30, 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, I want to say close to 35, 40 minutes. And it was going on for an extended period of time before that. It took us a while to catch up because the guy was going about 100 miles an hour away from us on the 91 through Orange County and then into Corona. So we finally caught up to it on the 91, but I'm sorry, in Corona. but the guy was, this person was originally wanted for swerving. They're now calling it suspected DUI because you have to put a crime to it, right? Swerving is not necessarily a penal
Swerving
code, but
isn't a big deal.
yeah,
Right?
so they put an alleged DUI or suspected DUI driver on this, and he has gone the 91 to the northbound 405, briefly up to 605, then eastbound on the 91 through through Orange, LA counties, Riverside County, and now San Bernardino County, and now back to LA County. So we've touched kind of every corner of the market here, unless he wants to take a trip over to Ventura. But right now we are westbound on the 91 through, I'm sorry, westbound 60 through the 71, approaching Chino Hills Parkway. CHP has just done, again, another swap out where they have swapped their units, and we are into LA County's area now as they are kind of pushing through the area here.
And Mike, at one point they wanted to get ahead of this chase so they can possibly stop it with some spike strips, but they weren't able to do that.
No, and they tried to get permission to do that in Orange County, and whoever was in charge said no, they didn't want to do that. So that's where we've kind of been. We've not really heard any chatter about that since. We do know that we have heard that the guy was, the vehicle's registered at an address in Huntington Beach. We also, sorry, just listening to this. We also know that the car is not reported stolen. It's nothing like that. So in theory, they know who the registered owner is. Whether the registered owner is the one behind the wheel or not is a different story here. Brian, when you get a second, if we can get a good look at the truck, I just want to show people, this is a Toyota pickup truck that we have been following for quite some time now. We don't know that there's anybody else in the truck. We know that and at times when it's lit up, it's really dark down there right now. But we do see some things in the bed of the pickup truck, potentially indicating that maybe it's a work truck. CHP does have their helicopter overhead. H58 is overhead. They are not providing a night sun on it. We don't know why exactly, but they have not put a night sun over it at all. So we'll see if maybe they're just tracking it on their FLIR. They have different ways of obviously looking at it. And you've got ground units that are right behind it. So that is where we're at right now, and we're just kind of pushing through here.
Yeah, Mike, headlights are on. Drivers not going too fast. Would that be maybe a reason why the night sun isn't being deployed?
Yeah, and you know, those ground units are right behind him. We've not seen any, you know, crazy erratic driving. When people are in front of him, he stops. You know, that kind of thing. Now, what we have seen is people not pulling over for CHP. I mean, there was a portion of the chase where they were like really close to the side of the CHP cars and not stopping. So obviously that's a frustration for the CHP here. So it's, you know, they're chasing it. They've swapped out offices a couple of times. We're back in LA County now. We'll see what the LA County sergeants want to do and kind of how they want to handle this.
Yeah, so they know the registered owner of this car. We don't know if this person is the one who's actually driving, but we know that the car comes back to someone who lives in Huntington Beach. So whether that person is from Huntington Beach or not, we don't know, but we certainly know that they are very far away from home. If that is the case, as Mike has been talking about, this did start in Orange County, just off the 91 freeway, but it has traveled all parts of Southern California. Oh boy, the 5, the 405, the 605. In the Los Al area, Los Alamitos, the eastbound 91, Cerritos area into Riverside County on the 15, eastbound 60 back into Riverside County. We've just been all over the place. They've exited on surface streets just one time, we believe, throughout this entire chase. And we see that often, Juan, when they don't, you know, obviously they have many more ways to stop this car when they are on surface streets. It's, you know, slower speed than the freeway speed, so they have more opportunities to perhaps, you know, lay down some spike strips or maybe do a pit maneuver. But, you know, it gets pretty hard when they're going at freeway speeds.
You're going freeway speeds, Susie, not a lot of traffic in front of this pickup truck there. So again, he's got a free, clear view ahead of him. As look at the SkyCal's opening up, giving us a better view of what's ahead. Not a lot of traffic. And my guess is by now, Mike, maybe not. Do officers know more than what we know regarding this driver? Why wouldn't they let him go at this point?
Yeah, for sure. And that's the good point here, is that we don't know everything that they know. And I actually want to bring up a question from Text the Desk that somebody just sent us to. And it's from, I believe Lucas or Matt sent us this. If it's not stolen and they know the registered owner and address, why risk public safety and just get him at home? That is the question that CHP, I'm sure, is debating right now. There are sergeants, there are lieutenants who are asking that same question. And it really all depends on what they know about the person. This person is wanted for DUI. That is the official kind of want here. But is there something else that is making this person run? because even if you don't hit anything, a DUI can still be a misdemeanor,
Sure.
right? But now running from the police is felony evading at minimum. So what else is going on with this person? We don't know. CHP may know, and that may be why, as to answer the question here, why they are not waiting and going to get him at home, and why they are instead continuing to chase him. So obviously, if we hear or learn any additional information about why that is the case, we'll absolutely pass that along to you. Right now, though, we've not heard that. We just know that this was reported to be a DUI vehicle, and in fact, as I mentioned, started out to be swerving and then was changed to DUI. As we continue here, now we're southbound on the 57. So now we're going to come back into Orange County, where we all started this whole mess to begin with, probably close to an hour ago now.
And we're all armchair detectives here, right?
Yeah,
We all say,
right.
what could they do? What couldn't they do? Regarding letting this chase go, right? Susie, you say you send units to the registered address of this car, and you just have a patrol unit kind of hang out in the neighborhood and arrest the person, because if they're not there, the person could say that wasn't me behind the wheel. I mean, there's so many different angles that you can attack this story here. And again, look at this wide shot, Susie, wide open traffic right ahead of this truck here. Officers behind and really no end in sight right now.
Yeah, but they are certainly talking about it, as we've been talking about. The CHP is talking about all kinds of things behind this chase right now that we don't know about, but they certainly want to bring this to an end. Mike, earlier we were talking about the grappler and how Riverside County Sheriffs, they do have that. Explain what that is. And the CHP does not work with these.
CHP does not work with these, and I can tell you, I'm going through our Texted S comments right now, and there are a lot of people that are asking about that. It's very popular in other parts of the country. Here, we just don't use it that frequently. I don't know if it's the size of our agencies or maybe the denser streets that people don't want to take the risk on. But the Riverside County Sheriff's Department does have their canine units equipped with the grappler. Essentially what the grappler is it mounts to the front of the patrol car. The patrol car is able to get close enough behind the suspect vehicle, and then it shoots out ropes, essentially, if you will. There's a better term for it that's escaping me, but it shoots something out. They basically can catch it and wraps the rope around the tire, and then that brings the car to an end. It has been very successful, according to the Sheriff's Department, in Riverside County, and they used it frequently. They use it on chases, and they've used it at pretty high speeds. They told us, I think our Joy Benedict went out there, and they've used it at speeds over 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
So they have used this before in the real world, and it works for them out there. Why other agencies haven't gotten on board? I have asked that question a million times to our local agencies. The best answer I get from people is we're always looking to expand our options, but this isn't one of them right now. So
could be cost, Mike.
It could
Just
be cost. Well, and
yep.
Riverside, what cars do you put it on, right? That's the other issue. Is Riverside made a decision to put it on their canine vehicles, which makes sense. You have one generally that is working, probably at least one on each shift, maybe a couple that can respond. They're county-wide, so they're not stuck to a geographical area. Other agencies like the CHP or the LAPD or whatever, it may be difficult to decide whose car do we put this on?
Sure.
How do we make sure we're getting the best use out of it?
And then we got to call them in whenever we need it.
Right. And logistically, it may just not be kind of the best use of money for them. Now, I also quickly want to, because a lot of people are texting me about me calling it Rancho Cucamonga. I want to let everyone know, when I was referring to Rancho Cucamonga, it's the Rancho Cucamonga office of the CHP. So yes, I know it was on the 60 freeway in Ontario, but it was the Rancho Cucamonga office of the CHP
They handle that
that
area,
was
right?
chasing it. Yes, we've got our friends watching on a lot of Twitch streams right now, so that's where I'm getting blown up from. So anyway, Rancho Cucamonga office of the CHP. We are in LA County now. We're going to actually just now crossing into Orange County on the southbound side of the 57 coming into Brea.
And traffic on the other side of the freeway is just as light too, Suze.
Yeah, it's true. And, we've been going pretty fast here. As we mentioned, this all started with the original want of a swerving person, someone who was swerving around the freeway, and then the want turned into suspected DUI driver. But we really haven't seen that erratic driving that you may maybe imagine when we're talking about a DUI driver, or what you might just imagine the behavior of the DUI driver. We've just been watching this person drive fast at times, certainly, but not swerving
Not
like we were
changing
hearing about
lanes,
earlier, not
yeah.
changing lanes, really just going straight down the freeways, all the freeways that they have been down tonight. But it's been mostly, regular driving.
Indeed,
on the
with 2
freeway.
units behind the driver here right now. Mike, there are air units, as you mentioned. They're just not using the night sun that we're oftentimes seeing at night when a pursuit is taking place.
Yeah, we do have the CHP helicopter overhead. They're came out of Fullerton. Yeah, they don't have the nights on. They haven't the entire time we've been over it. Some agencies do that as a measure to say, hey, we're not chasing you, we promise, but they're really right behind them. But obviously CHP is not in tracking mode. They've got units that are very close on the ground. So CHP may just be able to see it out the window. They may be using FLIR. There's a number of reasons. It may be broken. That's happened before too. There are a number of reasons why it may not be on, but you're not in a scenario where the ground units are going to lose sight of them, because we really haven't gone anywhere but straight on the freeway. I mean, we've got some texts to desk too that are asking, why didn't we do pit maneuvers? I thought there was an opportunity for them to do that when they got off the freeway. Again, every circumstance has to be just right. The officer has to feel comfortable with it. It's easier for us to say, oh, that would have been a good spot, but we don't know the scenarios and what's going on the ground. We don't know what they know about this guy. So yes, to answer the question, they are allowed to do pit maneuvers. They have to get permission for it, and the conditions have to be right. And at 70 miles an hour on the freeway, they're never going to do a pit there. I was thinking maybe we'll see some spikes. Somebody try to get up ahead, because the freeway's been pretty empty. Brian, if you can pull out just a little bit, I just want to see what the traffic. Oh, there's still some cars ahead of them, but it's not certainly a busy, terribly packed freeway here at 10 o'clock on what is this, Tuesday night. But look at the trail of cop cars that are behind him there. That are trailing him. So we're probably starting to see a switch out as well. We're back into Orange County now, so they're probably switching out their Riverside units, or I'm sorry, their LA County units for Orange County units now that we're back in Orange County.
Mike, they're heading back into Orange County. You said kind of this is back to where this all started.
Yeah.
Any chance whether they know maybe the driver is heading back to those familiar areas, maybe back home?
Not far from Huntington Beach.
Right, yeah. Huntington Beach is where the registered owner lives. So I know that they were trying to do some work on that. I mean, yeah, the 57 is certainly on the way to that. Obviously, they'd have to take a couple of different freeways, but we're coming back into Orange County. So I don't know if the guy's thought or the person's thought was, let's see if they can get out of the area. Maybe they'll leave me alone. And that's not the case. And they're chasing him. I thought, and not to be, judgmental of Los Angeles County, but I thought for a second that they may not get involved when it came into LA County, but they did. They picked it up, and now we're back into Orange County.
Mike, I know we're talking about different ways that this car can be stopped by the CHP. We talked about pit maneuvers and spike strips.
Yeah.
Pit maneuvers with a pickup truck. Higher center of gravity.
Yeah, I mean, and that's going to make them want the speeds to probably be even lower. Again, generally speaking, this is about 30 to 35 miles an hour is what people are looking for these pit maneuvers to be done successfully and safely. So when you have a vehicle that's got a higher center of gravity, or there's some other issue with it, they probably would want that to be even a little bit lower just to make them feel comfortable. And, we're seeing this, and speeds are fluctuating a little bit. I mean, we're back in the 70s about freeway speeds, but there was that period of time when we were in Orange County to begin with, that this guy was up over 100 miles an hour. That's honestly what took SkyCal so long to get there, as we were trying to catch this guy on the eastbound 91 as he was going away from us. But look, I mean, CHP has kept the distance they're keeping. They're keeping some, pretty wide room here from this guy. And he's not, driving like too crazy at all. You see another CHP unit come in here. They're probably switching out as well. And that's been the thing with the CHP. You can, a statewide agency, they can constantly swap units from different offices, and these these officers don't get too, tired from being in there.
And they've done it multiple times, right, tonight already.
Yeah,
Mike,
they have, yeah.
Aren't they a little more aggressive in Orange County? Haven't we talked about that in the past?
For sure. They are definitely more aggressive in Orange County and in the IE. CHP, though, I mean, they're maybe a little bit more aggressive, but they've got the same policies statewide, right? I mean, officially in the books, they have the same policies, where as in San Bernardino, like Sheriff or Riverside Sheriff or Orange County Sheriff, their policies may differ, and they may be a little bit more willing to take some risks that other agencies or the CHP doesn't want to take. And again, it's all about risk versus reward here. What is they being chased for? And guys, I want to let you know too, we are rapidly approaching the Disneyland TFR. And it's temporary, but it's permanent. It's always been there. So we'll see if he continues to go southbound. SkyCal, Brian, work with your pilot. Maybe we can go over the top of it. If not, we'll have to skirt off to the side. So the picture may get a little bit tough here. Brian's going to work on that with his pilot tonight and figure out what that is. But I believe we are now through so we're on southbound on the 57, and we are through the 91. So the airship is going to be entering the flight restricted area for us here in just a second. So we'll keep an eye on it and keep our picture as tight as we can as we work on navigating the flight restricted area. Let me send it back to you guys really quickly. I'm going to talk to Brian.
Okay, thank you so much. And that's several areas around town, right?
Mhm.
The airport,
Mhm.
Disneyland, all have these areas where we're not allowed to fly over for whatever reason. Sometimes if you have the president in town, certain parts of town become also temporary flight restricted areas. So that's what Mike was just talking about now. We're approaching Disneyland. So our chopper has to then maneuver around the area to get through the flight restricted area around the resort.
That's right. And as we head up to Anaheim, this is again exactly where the pursuit started tonight on the 91 freeway westbound in the city of Anaheim or in Orange County. And we're going back to that place again. And we're wondering if this person is going to maybe try going home to Huntington Beach, if in fact that is where they live. We do know that this registered car or this car is registered to a person out of Huntington Beach. So it's curious if they might be perhaps going home. If they exited right now and headed south on any of those streets that run parallel to Beach Boulevard, that's where it would take them. So, but they've been all over the place, Juan. They've been to Riverside County. They've been to San Bernardino County even for a hot minute. And, it's been just really, sometimes we have knowledge of this person. Maybe they're going to go back home and go into their neighborhood and drive around there for a minute and try to evade police, but be in an area where they're more comfortable, more familiar with. But we haven't seen that behavior tonight, just on the freeway.
And we don't know, there's no certainty that this person is actually drunk or driving under the influence. But the fact that he was swerving was enough for officers wanting to pull him over. The fact that he didn't pull him over, then you start thinking, well, what's going on here? What's going on through the mind of this driver? If it was just a simple swerve, a lot of people have swerved for one reason or another, maybe not paying attention to traffic, but not desperate enough to try to evade police and try to get away.
Yeah, I just want to remind our audience here that we're keeping this shot really wide on SkyCal because we are entering into the Disneyland TFR or flight restriction for our choppers. So we can't be over that area too closely here. So we're going to be taking this shot wide. As you can see in the middle of your screen there, you can see the CHP cars still chasing this person. Let's go back to Mike Rogers on the desk for this update, Mike.
Yeah, I'm just watching, and we're going right over Angel Stadium right now, is
right
where
there.
he is. Yeah, you see it right in the background. So that's where we are. That's a good landmark for people as we continue southbound here. And if he continues south, we'll pop out of the TFR. Hopefully that'll be the case. Brian and our pilot doing a great job. Just so you know, we're looking at this at like quite the distance. You see where the baseball
halo.
stadium is there. We are east of the 55 in Orange County. So they're doing a great job of keeping an eye on this. And thanks, Brian, for pulling out and really showing us just how far away we have to stay to do this. This is the flight restricted area, as you guys have been mentioning, for Disneyland. So the guy's still on southbound 57 rather, and we'll be approaching the 5 and the 22 kind of interchange there here. So he's going to have a couple of options. If he's going to Huntington Beach, I mean, I guess you could go either way. You could go back east, westbound there on the, what is that, the 22? Yeah, or come down and pick up the 55 from the 5. If that's how he wants to get there. And we'll see if that's where he's actually going, but that's where they believe that the registered owner is. That's where the address they've kind of been working up a little bit, if you will. So we'll see what kind of movements they're able to get there. And then hopefully as soon as we pop out of if he goes down south on the 5, we'll be able to pick him up a little bit quicker than he would if we go on the westbound side. So we'll see.
Mike, has CHP been the agency that has been chasing him the entire time, or has it gone on and off based on whether he's been on the freeway or surface streets?
Nope, CHP the entire time. They actually initiated this in Orange County and picked it up and have been going back and forth with it. Trying to see what he's doing here. Have been going back and forth with it all the way through the Inland Empire. So it's been them the entire time, and they've stuck with it, passed it off through a couple of different offices. And we are, of course, because why wouldn't life be easy, transitioning westbound on the 22. So we're going to be stuck in the TFR
as we expected
for a while. So SkyCal is going to come to the south now of the TFR, and we'll try to keep an eye on them. But that's a good opportunity to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cop cars. And you'll notice that back cop car, the last one, is doing the traffic break to try to keep traffic from catching up to him.
And we're almost approaching 2 hours on this chase, Mike.
Yes. Let me see.
I believe it was 8:30 when this car was first pulled over on the westbound freeway, on the westbound 91 freeway.
Yeah, I believe you're right. It
that's
was
almost 2 hours
8:39.
ago. Wow.
Yeah, 8:39 p.m. is what time the pursuit was initiated, and that was on the westbound 91 west of Imperial in Anaheim. So again, we're kind of close to where we started all of this here down in Orange County. So we're westbound now on the 22. We'll see if he just decides to get off and head home to Huntington Beach or what his plan is here. But we're at least kind of back where we started this whole thing.
Yeah, I'm
now.
wondering if he's going to exit there because he's all the way on the right there. He's on a transition right now, isn't he?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. The 22 bends right there a little bit on us. And then, of course, you've got some of those tall buildings. So I think he's committed to the freeway. The next option, freeway-wise, would be the 405, and that's in several miles. So he can get off on some surface streets here, and like right now we're almost into Garden Grove, and then he can go south if he's trying to go home, or he just stays here westbound, and then we'll pick him up as soon as he exits the TFR.
I thought for a second that one unit was going to start doing a traffic break there on the freeway, but apparently it stopped doing that. It started swerving left and right, but that wasn't the case there. It wouldn't really help them much holding traffic back, would it, Mike?
No, I mean, we're going at freeway speeds right now, roughly. It's more helpful to them when the person is going slower than the freeway, because then you really can have cars start passing him. But when we're going about freeway speeds, generally the motoring public will know, hey, this is probably not a good idea for me to get right up on. I'll slow down a little bit. So it's not totally necessary for CHP to do it. Though we have in this chase already seen them do traffic breaks behind this person. So just so they could, try to keep control of the area. And I had thought for a period of time it was so that they were going to be able to try to do a spike because we had heard some of that. All of a sudden, slowing down, it looks like, pretty significantly. We're still in the flight restricted area, so we're not going to be able to see much, but we are just at Harbor Boulevard here as the speeds have significantly reduced. Now, when we first started this chase, he was also going very, very slow. And it looks like
It is slowing down.
if that's the exit. I think he is on, on the harbor exit here. So maybe he wants to come south and see SkyCal. That would be nice. But getting off the freeway, only the second time since we've been in this chase that he has gotten off the freeway.
Yeah, so if he takes Harbor South, it's going to take him right to Huntington Beach. If
Right.
he does choose to do that, any of those streets, as I mentioned before, parallel to Harbor will take you straight
Northbound.
to Huntington Beach to the ocean. But it looks like they're going northbound there, going the opposite direction. And CHP right behind this person, not going very fast, as Mike was just talking about. This is one of the first opportunities we've seen
Into a
again on
parking lot.
surface streets. Yeah, that we've seen them, possibly have an opportunity for maybe a pit maneuver. Again, with spike strips, you have to kind of know where that person is going. You have to see a pattern for them to set that up, those spike strips, and be in place and then hide and then wait for that person to pass by those spike strips. And that's often hard to do.
Is he parking, Mike?
He
It
is.
looks like he's kind of, it was like a circle he did in the parking lot, and this just went into a spot, right?
Yeah, and I can't tell what restaurant that is.
Is it
but-
Jack in the Box, Mike?
No,
or-
the Jack in the Box
Yeah.
is on the bottom of our screen. I can't tell what that is on the top. We're losing him behind the tree, so we'll see if SkyCal can maneuver around a little bit more so that we can see him here. But yeah, I mean, look, I don't know.
Whatever
Maybe
this
he
one
finally
is.
figured it out, and that this is not going to end the way he wants it to. Maybe he's out of gas. I mean,
Yeah.
this has been going on for quite some time. But either way, we are stopped here just north of the 22 freeway off the harbor at this little complex. There's a Jack in the Box, a Denny's. I can't tell what that business is that he
Me
pulled
either.
into, but
The sign is kind of blown out. Mike,
Yeah.
can we get closer or are we still in the
No.
TFR?
yeah,
This
they're
is
still
as close as we can get.
This is as close as we can get. They're still in the TFR. He is out of the car now, it looks like, and we're looking the best we can here, but we're trying to see him get out of the car here, and hopefully this is it, and hopefully they just take him into custody, and we'll call it a day here and be done with all of this after this incredibly long pursuit, almost 2 hours now, and I do see him out. Okay, that's great news. We briefly were able to see him out of the car. His hands are up. Looks like he's kneeling down now, right behind that Jack in the Box sign. So at least he is out. He is no longer a danger to the public. What will end up being his deal? Why was he running so hard? Is he DUI?
And as he's doing now, complying and eventually taken into custody. We don't believe there's anyone else in the vehicle, but what started as a potentially very dangerous situation, a suspected DUI driver on the freeway, albeit not moving at incredibly high speeds, covering 4 counties out of Orange County, northbound, eventually in Riverside County, San Bernardino County, LA County, before coming back into Orange County. Suspect now on the ground and in custody as they move now to clear the rest of that vehicle.
An incredible end to this pursuit, a safe end, which we like to see. CHP deploying that spike strip just moments ago, and the driver trying to continue on with 2 flat tires, decided to give up in the parking lot of this fast food restaurant in the Garden Grove area.
And it looks like that vehicle has been cleared. Suspect in custody. Gil Levis in Sky 5. Thank you.
All right. Other news tonight, backing down after threatening to end the Iranian civilization.
Leaners. Even one of the leaners has a dog on his shoulder.
Security.
Secretary. Park here and wait for the call. I wonder if security's going to say something.
Well, 7-Eleven doesn't own the parking lot, so he's just there guarding 7-Eleven. He's probably, man, I wish I didn't get this.
Guy's getting ready to close up shop right there.
Closing up trends. I ran out of fentanyl, guys. You gotta go.
I wonder how far that is. Already in route.
That could be.
No way.
London?
Right here. Not that far away. Verbal heated disturbance. As long as I got it right. 3710 North Abbey. I'm ready. I'm energized. I'm ready for a good call. I don't want to have to call it a lid yet, put a lid on it yet. I'm like, good call.
One good call to send you home.
Well, somebody escorted out, and it's right up here. Make a left. Come on, light. There is nobody coming. We should get there right at the same time as police, if not a little before. Oh, it's okay. It's at one of these stores in here, inside Matt Fashion Fair. Our inside Manchester.
With L-plate 6 Victor David Mary 171 to Mercedes. White Mercedes, I don't know if it's a little bit. George 21 vehicles come back here, but expired 12, 10, 12, 25, 2010 Mercedes at a Singer, left on Estrada.
So they've already had issues in this area. The neighbor 2 doors down, it's right here, these apartments.
They're like right next to the police department.
This should be it right here on the left. 3710. I gotta put it up on the stands again and figure out. I probably gotta change the power of steering line, and it's not an easy one to get to. It goes up underneath, and it has the hell is that?
I had to do it on my old Firebird back in the '78 Firebird.
So we're looking right there. Those right there. So
Could it be on the backside? They had an alley that going behind it.
well, it says it's right there. I think that's it. There might be an alley to the place, but you know what's awesome?
Yes, we can just sit right here.
Right here. Let's see if we got the address right. I'm pretty sure we did. Oh, get away from that damn light. All right, we'll give it a minute if they don't show up here. I don't hear any heated verbal discussion. Though.
No. Seems like it's pretty quiet. There's people got their windows open
And I don't see anybody that needs to escort someone out. I turned that down too much. I have a habit of doing that.
Yeah.
There's that one too.
Here comes a PD.
Yep. Here comes the police right now, folks. Parking at the end of the street.
Seeing there's somebody up in there watching TV.
Yeah.
Corridor 21, it's going to be 10, 12 of 25.
Let's turn the light out.
Cop pulled up. He turned off the light quick. So that,
It's just the TV lighting up the.
yeah, the officer's gonna probably be waiting for backup to arrive. It's 10:32 over here on the left coast. You got DJ Jetmec riding shotgun with you tonight. You didn't know he was a DJ, did you guys?
Flash Rounds 31. Can you put me on a location of Fort George on Marcus and Acacia, please?
So they're waiting for another officer to arrive.
Go ahead. Hey, Robert Lincoln Baker, 58728 Hall. Copy. Charles 31, it's going to be clear and current on a 04 Chevy out of Fresno.
So quiet over here. Maybe somebody just had their TV up loud.
Oh, nope. There it is. I just heard it. They're walking across.
Oh, there's somebody up there.
Yeah. Oh, damn, it's right under that light. Let's see if I can. Wish that thing wouldn't beep every time. Okay, she's coming down. I knew I heard something right there.
Sounds like a dog.
I've seen it. Edward Sam, Charles Ocean, Baker Edward, David Ocean, hyphenated, Wafer, William Adam Frank, Edward Robert.
You can hear the dog in the radio. See, you can hear him right now on that radio. They're running a name right now. They're talking to her behind that car. I can't put a spotlight on them or I would.
There's their one.
Frank 2-1. Over to Bulldog. Copy, sounds to be a for Lake. Bulldog Lane and 6.
Bulldog Lane and 6, the Lake Bell right now. That's where he's going.
Oh,
You think we can make it over there? Bulldog Lane and 6.
yeah. That's where we at right now. We're at Manchester. Yeah, if you go to
Let's try.
pull out there and go down.
Oh no, we gotta go to Blackstone. This don't go through. Does it?
Does this take you out to?
I think this curves around. I'll just do main streets for now, but it's over by Fresno State, guys. Lake Bell right now, in northeast. Another one. I'll turn this. That's the radio traffic you're gonna hear.
Biker on foot. No, he jumped the bike, gated, and jumped the fence.
Oh, he was on a bike. Ditched the bike.
Stuff flying around behind.
Those are the numbers. 4711. Let's start a perimeter. Is there support available?
They're starting a perimeter. They're on the.
Prison 1 air on channel 4.
They're trying to air support. You don't hear that in the background.
Copy. Or right there, north of them in the church parking lot. Put me on it, please. He hasn't made it this far. Right there, you copy. It's going to be on emergency traffic. It'll be at Marcus and Arcadia.
Marcus and Arcadia.
Pushing this on standard mode. Second. Channel 21, I copy. Channel's going to be secure. Time is 22:39 hours. Possibly 4 George 21. That's where I'm showing him. Arizona 4 George 21. George 2. Go with your location. Locked. Bruno. Spoke to a couple of residents out here. Never broke north.
Never. They're talking to
Air 1 to Fort Charles, confirming that's going to be south of Bulldog Lake.
Yeah.
Air 1, that's going to be 4 George 21. Copy. One of the last units we saw is it possible you broke east of number 6. At 4 George 21, a correction. We're on San Ramon. He never broke north. He's going to be somewhere in the complex between Bulldog and San Ramon.
Bulldog and San Ramon. Okay, go.
Copy. Air 1 to the unit 11 off number 6. Can you take mid-block 6 between Bulldog Lake and San Ramon? Where's San Ramon?
Hopefully we don't got crappy cell service.
Walk over number 4, also between Bulldog and San Ramon. One go with the description again. There's no subject. We got a male subject over here.
Oh, got
Fort
it.
George 2 wants to be a white male, black shirt with a pattern on it and blue jeans. Male subject's not matching.
Male subject's not matching. They still don't got him yet. We're heading that way though. People don't know they can turn right on reds. Come on.
Big with a leg male, Bulldog Lane and 6. It's gonna be 148.21 and 148.9. He gave me a fake name.
There's the
Do
arrow.
you have any identifiers as soon as start working in RMS?
Wouldn't that be awesome? Like I told you, when me and Roberto were out on that suspicious activity call, the police were searching the backyard. The suspects came running out of a different backyard. We started honking our horns, followed them. Police grabbed one of them. We followed the other two all the way down a ditch bank.
Go ahead with that ID.
We would have done something, but we would be the bad guys.
Yes.
Thought about it, we were like,
And you'll end up spending the
George to Fort Frank, what was the height and weight? He's about 6 foot right now, short hair. He's super skinny built, probably about 180.
one more night.
yeah.
Arizona 4 Frank 21, do you still want the air? Negative, we're secure. Copy, channel secure 2242.
You still want the air. Hey guys.
President 1 broadcasting for info, 10-4 is now secure. 21 to 4 north.
So northeast is 4.
Over to the south side of the street.
Let's see, we're pulling down 6. Okay, I see all the cops right
No
now.
one unit arriving on number 4. Yeah. You take the block between, on number 4 between Bulldog and Centerville, and we'll start up for a search. Affirmative. Charles 31, can you get to that spot, please? Charles 31, last four will be 1512, 1512. Bulldog to the south, number 6 to the east, and number 4 to the west.
SWAT push. So it's
Right.
right.
124 Frank 21. Of Ortiz, he's going to have a secondary last name of Ayala. It's going to be a valid DL. He's going to be on felony probation for BC 33215 with a discharge start date of 9/10 of 26. Negative and enhanced search NCB. I copy.
We'll go through some of these valleys here in a minute.
President 1 broadcasting from Phil, southeast units will be responding code 3 towards a house fire, Liberty and Cedar.
House fire.
Street there.
What's that?
Oh, I've seen that street right there.
Yeah, no, I want to get up here and see where the. And we can, once we figure out what's going on.
Go ahead. We were with Frank 21 when we observed him jump over that fence. And when he broke north, we took 4th across north to San Ramon. We never did see him go to the west. But we believe he continued to the north and never saw him come out of San Ramon.
Never seen it. Well, this is San Ramon right here.
Copy.
Looks like we already got some people sweeping up. Sweeping up on.
Negative, nobody was on 6, but he was running.
Yeah, this guy's out here in his lawn chair.
They're waiting for the action.
There's an officer right here. They're setting up a perimeter right now, is what they're doing.
Oh, 31. I'm on Bulldog and 6. You guys need me anywhere?
So it's this area they think he's in if he didn't go north. Anybody on this street?
There's 104 Frank 21. Do you need Charles 31 anywhere? Air 1 to 4 Charles 31. Go ahead. Two subjects talking underneath the carport directly north of Fort Frank's location. Is it possible you can just to see if they observe anyone any north from the location? Copy, I head that way.
Could pop out anywhere right here.
They'll be on the south side of the alley north of Bulldog.
South side of the alley, north of Bulldog. So
It should be 1388 East Bulldog Lane.
this 1388 is Bulldog.
President 1 units
it's-
with Blackstone 52 towards the noise complaint. It'll be Torrey Pines Avenue and Wood Lane. Confirm details. 500 to check up.
Pretty good. How's it going?
I'm just like, we're just like,
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. No
I got
worries.
it.
All right, you guys are good. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
Be safe.
We'll have to go the other way and come around. We
Yeah, I
got
got that one.
a lot more cops here.
Charles 31, 31, 1231, go ahead. Go again. Bulldog and 6. I think you can watch it. That's the white trans, the red feature.
They're over there in the field right here. They're going through the backyards. They're right
Here, 1 to
here.
4 Charles. If you enter the alley from number 6, just north of Bulldog, that'll be about maybe 50 yards to the west, south side of the alley.
2 alleys up.
Got to bring my canine in.
You know, that's what's amazing is you realize how much more help we need when like they gotta wait for a canine unit or they gotta wait for a drone unit.
Yeah.
This way. So it's this alley right here is the one I think they're talking about. Let's see.
404.
Notify Fresno State PD in case this guy starts hitting attorneys or
Hey, from it looks like they did call back. They were given the info, but I'll update them on whatever we have after that.
That's a unit coming our way.
Yeah.
the one in the alley, stop. You're going to be to your left. Yeah, you can back.
So that's her pulling in right now. It'll be to your left. So we're pulling in perfectly.
404, and just confirm, what's our southern perimeter on this? Here, 1 to 404, it'll be Bulldog Lane, sir. Copy that. I have nobody here at Bulldog is 6. You have somebody over on Bulldog is 4. I believe they're taking mid-block position.
So
It is the
she's
last on the lake road.
exiting her
Bulldog,
vehicle and talking
mid-block
to.
between number 4 and 6.
Squeeze out of this one.
You know.
Check for UAV.
I can't even see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Copy any units with the UAV to assist on 421's call, Bulldog Land 6.
They're looking for a UAV right now, a drone.
404, find me a unit for Bulldog is 16.
And copy, I have 4 actually 21 en route. I'll put them there. Charles, did you go? Channel 4.
A 5-point turnabout.
Yeah, pretty much. I think this guy might be gone. We'll hang out in the area just in case they get a suspect for a few minutes.
For to Kelly, you got Bulldog covered.
Boom, boom.
When you can, make your way around over here, and so we can know what you have.
He could be anywhere right here. He could be in front of one of these cars, under one of these cars.
Inside one of the cans.
Yeah.